All right, good morning, third grade. Today, what we're going to do is learn about something called totem poles. Does anybody know what a totem pole is? Any ideas? Yes?
A pole with stuff on it.
Yeah, it's a pole with stuff on it, but we're going to get more into about what that stuff is, okay? So, this would be a traditional totem pole, right? Except it's missing some key elements. And what we're going to do is talk about the Pacific Northwest Native Americans and how they use symbols to show things about their cultures and their families, okay? So right now, what I'm going to have you do is look over here at the presentation I've prepared for you. I need you to put your listening ears on and really pay attention, okay, guys? All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is read it aloud to you, okay? Grab my chair here. Okay, so it says totem poles, art of the Northwest Native Americans. Okay, that's a traditional totem pole that you would find in the Pacific Northwest, right? All right, so facts about totem poles that a lot of people don't even really know. Totem poles were and still are made by native tribes living along the Pacific Ocean in the northwest corner of the United States. And we know the Pacific Ocean is over, we're on the East Coast. Where's the Pacific Ocean? Yes.
West Coast.
The West Coast. The top of the United States, right? Right there. Totem poles are carved from tree trunks and stood in front of most homes. Totem poles tell a story about the family that live in them.
Hi, Kitty.
As well as strangers where to find food and shelter. Animals on totem poles are very stylized. Each animal on a totem pole has a specific meaning attached, okay? So they wouldn't, can you pay attention, please? Thanks. All right, so can somebody guess this animal? Yes.
A eagle.
An eagle, let's see. An eagle, you're right. Good job. How about this one? Yes.
A fish.
Yeah, it's a kind of fish.
A shark.
Killer whale. We know that killer whales are the orcas, right? The black and white ones. How about this guy? Think about the Pacific Northwest. What would be native, which means from that area? What would be native to their environment?
A type of fish.
A type of fish. Let's see. Yep. Salmon, right? We know the Pacific Northwest that have the salmon runs. This one's a little bit tougher. Do you know back there?
A person.
A person. How about a bear? Isn't that interesting? What about this one? Yes.
An owl.
You got it. Good job. It is an owl. And you can see like its little arms. It's kind of just like encased in that shape there. How about next? This one's a little bit trickier, but think about the Pacific Northwest. What's native to that area? Yes.
A wolf.
It is a wolf. Great job. This one's tricky. How about, yep.
A fox.
It's a raven and moon. Can you see the raven's beak down? Right there. And then the moon? It does kind of look like a fox. So here we have just some pictures of traditional totem poles that would be in the Pacific Northwest. We know from researching the Pacific Northwest that the trees are really, really, what are they?
Tall.
They're really tall, right. And so they used a lot of parts of the trees, yes.
Are those around here?
Well, we're on the east, so they're over in the Pacific Northwest, but people use things like totem poles still today, and there are still totem poles in the Pacific Northwest that they make. All right, let's learn a little bit more about them. Here's some more symbols that we went through. All right, so what did you learn about totem poles? Yeah.
That they can be different animals.
Different animals. How
They
about
come
you?
from the Pacific Northwest.
Yes. And you answered the next question. Excellent. Why were totem poles important? Yes.
Because they symbolize tribes.
They symbolize things that were available in their houses and also their culture and their families, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about a little bit more about them, and then we're going to do an activity together, okay? So here, let me hop up, and we're going to put our thinking caps on, and we're going to raise our hands if we have a question, okay? Let's see. Please wait to be called on. Can you tell me what the word symbol means? Yes.
Like it's a type of sign.
It's a type of sign, right. So what a symbol is it's something that represents something else, okay? A symbol. Can you say symbol?
Symbol.
Right. So a symbol represents something else. Let's see. What I'm going to have you do in a minute is move with your partner to your pre-designated location, okay? You need to sit together and work on this activity that I have for you. I'm going to hand out this passage to you, and we're going to read it aloud. It's on totem poles, okay? And then I'm going to have you fill out a question form, okay? You can use the passage. But first, let's read this aloud, all right? And then we'll go from there. So can I have a volunteer to help me pass out? You want to come here? All right. I need you to pass these out. Once you get one, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, ready. And then you're going to move with your partner to your pre-designated location. Okay? All right. 1, 2, 3, ready. Can you move your chairs to each other? Okay, great. So everybody should be in their group, okay? And what I need you to do is follow along the passage with your finger like we normally do, okay? So let's read this aloud. It says totem poles. The Northwest Coast native people carved totem poles out of giant cedar trees. Before I keep going, I have one more thing to tell you. If you need to, circle words that you don't understand or that are questionable to you, please do that. We will discuss them at the end, okay? So if you see a word that we go over and you're unsure of what it means or you don't know what it is, circle it or underline it, and then we'll go over it at the end, okay? As we read along. All right, so I'm going to go back to where I was. Can you pay attention to your sheets? There, thank you. A totem pole is like a book that you might read. Totem poles are a way of passing stories from one generation to another. The figures, follow along with your fingers please, on totem poles were symbols, usually of animals and birds. They were not worshipped. They represented a tribe, clan, family, or person. Some totem poles told of events that happened to a clan. Other totem poles told about the history of a family. Still others were memorials carved to mark graves. After cutting down a cedar tree, carvers would begin by carving symbols at the top of the tree and work toward the bottom. A totem pole could be a small or large. A large totem pole might be more than 18 meters high and could take 2 to 3 years to carve. The Northwest Coast natives used handmade tools for carving. The maul, or hammer, was made of stone with a wooden handle. The adze, which worked like an axe, was made with a sharpened flat, hard stone blade. Chisels for carving were made from sharpened stone or animal horn. After the totem poles were carved, they were sometimes painted with animal hair brushes. The paint colors were made from bark, coal, clay, copper, berries, and shells that were mixed with crushed salmon eggs. Black, red, blue, green, and white were the most common colors. When the pole was finished, it was ready to be raised and put into place. If the totem was to be used in the doorway, a large hole was cut through the bottom as an entrance. To set up the giant poles, the people would dig a hole in the ground and put the bottom of the pole in the hole. Then, using ropes, they'd pull it into an upright position. All right, so So we read through the passage, right? And then what I want to know is anyone have any questions? You unsure about any words? We're good? Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to have you do is work with your partner on this sheet here that I have. You can use your passage. Also, if you need to look at the PowerPoint, you can do that. And what you're going to do is try to fill in the blanks of the answers of what we learned about totem poles today, okay? So, can I have you take one and pass it on? You each, you only need one. And then make sure you put both your names at the top. And then what you're going to do is we're going to have 12 minutes to fill out this, okay? And we need to talk at a level volume 2, okay? Nothing higher than that. And make sure your both names are at the top. And you can use the passage in front of you to refer to it, all right? I will let you know when you have 3 minutes left. So you have a total of 12 minutes, okay? Ready, set, work. I'll be walking around. If anybody needs any help, please raise your hands. Make sure you're working together. Did you guys need help over here? Here, let me see. Are you needing help with question number 4? Okay, so let's read it. What type of trees were mainly used when carving totem poles? So it's asking you the type of tree, and I think in the passage we did read that.
Giant cedar?
Right, and so we can just write cedar trees, right? So that would be right there. Cedar tree. Good job. Okay. All right, now you need help with the next one too, right? All right, so let's read the question number 5. Up to how many years could it take to carve a totem pole? Up to how many years could it take to carve a totem pole? Let's see. Do you remember where that was in the passage? Do you remember when we talked about that?
2 or 3 years.
I think you're right. So you're just going to put that right in there, okay? Do you think you can get the next one? Okay, let me know if you need more help, all right? Can I get a thumbs up if everybody's doing okay? Awesome. Thank you. How are we doing?
Good. We're on number 8.
Thank you. All right, students, you have 3 minutes left. So let's get our last answers down.
all done, man.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's been 12 minutes. So is everybody done? Can I have a hands raised if you're done? If you're not, it's okay. Okay, awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass our paper to our partner over there, and you're gonna write a check by it if the answer is right. If it's not right, I just need you to circle it, okay? What I'm gonna do is write these answers here up on the board. Okay, so we talked about totem poles today, right? All right, I wanna make sure this isn't gonna go. All right, so totem poles, number one. Totem poles are a way of passing blank from one generation to the other. Yep, you the back.
Stories.
Stories. The first answer should say stories. What were figures called on totem poles? Yes.
Symbols.
They were called symbols. Excellent job. All right, another word used during that time, but for family or clan was?
Memorial.
Nope, not memorial. If we look back in the passage, you'll see it. It says tribe, right? Okay, tribe. Number 4, what type of trees were mainly used when carving totem poles? Yes.
Side.
Cedar, good. Sit down, please. Cedar trees. How many years could it have taken to carve one totem pole? Yes.
2 or 3.
2 to 3 years. So number 5 should read 2 to 3. 6. What was the name of the tool that worked like a modern day axe? Yes.
Adze.
Excellent. Adze. 7. Can you list the names of the common colors that were used when painting? Yes.
Black. Red. Blue. And green. And what?
Black, red. Excellent. All right. Number 8. Blank were used for carving and made of sharpened stones or animal horns.
Chisel.
Chisel. Number 9. What kind of brushes did they use?
Animals.
Yeah, animal hair. Good. All right. And number 10. Did they leave the totem pole on the ground or did they raise it up? Yes.
They raise it so it's on its upwards.
They raise it. Okay. Up. Awesome job. So I have a couple questions for you here. Has anyone ever seen a real totem pole in real life? No. Have you been in the Pacific Northwest? Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. So you've never seen a totem pole in real life. Okay. So there's other things that represent things here, like totem poles, different rocks, different paintings, all that kind of stuff. Those are all, what's that main word that we talked about earlier today? Yes.
Symbols.
They are. They're all symbols that represent something else, okay? So I'm happy you guys learned so much about totem poles today. I had a really fun time teaching it to you. I hope that you can keep this information and use it again sometime. All right? Thank you so much.